With climate champion Bernie Sanders out of the 2020 race, the youth-led climate movement has a tough choice to make. Support Joe Biden, whose climate plan doesn't go far enough for them, or risk another 4 years of President Trump, who's rolled back about 100 environmental regulations during his time in office. For the 50th anniversary of Earth Day, we spoke with prominent young activists about what it'll take for Joe Biden, or any other candidates who might pop up, to win their support.
I can only speak for myself, because I know that there are a lot of folks who are not going to be voting for Biden, period.
We have activists that will vote for Biden, and we have activists that will vote for Trump. And I actually think that that's the power of our movement, is that we have people of all political stripes.
The activists all belong to organizations with hundreds of members that have mobilized huge demonstrations. Some of them even have direct lines to the candidates, including Biden.
His climate policy right now is so weak that it just simply isn't following science. So I'd actually like to see what your actual environmental plan is. Are you going to ban fracking? Are you going to hit all the emissions targets by scientists by 2030? Will you get behind a Green New Deal?
We need to accelerate the transition to renewable energies as quickly as possible, and we cannot have an incrementalist approach.
Biden has proposed his own version of the Green New Deal, which promises to get the US to net zero emissions by 2050. For most young climate activists, that's not fast enough.
He has to have a plan that he can achieve in his 4 years that makes sure that we are on the path to renewable energy by the year 2030.
The policies that we have here in the United States have to be at least somewhat implementable in other countries, and if not implementable, somewhat replicable, so that we can actually fight this problem across the ocean with other nations.
Bernie had proposed investing $16 trillion to transition to clean energy over the next 10 years. Biden's proposing only $1.7 trillion. He also was slow to pledge not to take money from the fossil fuel industry.
I mean, I'm going to need to see him really adopt a lot of Bernie's environmental policies and the things that Bernie had laid out.
I think part of the Green New Deal strategy is to really hold, people accountable who have lied for decades about the impacts of climate change, just so they could have their bottom line at the end of the day.
He was like, oh, we can find a middle ground between polluters and surviving the climate crisis. And it's there is no middle ground. You either survive this or you don't.
We have to lean on markets and technology and innovation, and in some cases capitalism, to help get us out of this mess.
Furthermore, putting frontline workers and vulnerable people to the climate crisis at the center of any climate solution is absolutely critical to making sure that we are accelerating a just transition, one that is just for people and not just for the environment.
One thing that both sides agree on, action on climate change is crucial to winning the youth vote.
If there is one candidate that has a climate platform and one that does not, it's going to leave a lot of young people who care about these issues, regardless of their political affiliation, feeling like there's only one choice.
There is no negotiating with nature. There is no negotiating with the forces of the earth.